Well, hello neighbors. Welcome to my deck. I'm John, your whiskey neighbor. Today's going to be a little bit of an unusual episode because it is my 100th episode, so I thought I would open up something I've been looking forward to and just talk a little bit about whiskey and how things are going. So join me after the break. I'm going to be opening Nikka From the Barrel. So it's been some time since we've been together. It's, I think, almost 3 weeks since I've recorded an episode, and life just seems to be a little bit too crazy. As I said in the opener, I should be doing a live with giveaways, and hats off to all the fans and good people, neighbors, I suppose, who've come around and been part of the channel. I'm just not going to find that time, and actually that's part of why I haven't shot anything, because I keep thinking, oh, I got to shoot something, and I just got to just celebrate a bit with you guys and just say again thank you for being part of the channel. And I thought what a nice way to celebrate by pouring a little bit of this Nikka From the Barrel. So Nikka From the Barrel in 2018 was Whisky Advocate's Whiskey of the Year. And I'll say this is a tasting and a fun time because I haven't had it. So it really would be a disservice to make this a review. But Nikka is from Japan. It's a Japanese whiskey. And what a beautiful color. It is bottled at 51. I thought it was around 51.4%. So it's stronger. Maybe not quite barrel strength. That might be implied with this whiskey from the barrel, but certainly stronger. Nikka, I don't know enough about their history. I do know their founder, whose name I shouldn't try, but you can look it up. And I know that he went back around the 1920s, kind of went to Scotland, went to the University of Glasgow. I think did quite a few research and spent time in Scotland to really get a handle on how Scottish distilleries were making Scotch, and then brought that back to Japan. And I think he started Suntory, didn't he? Someone can correct me on that. But certainly brought it back. Now this, I don't know enough. As I said, Nikka From the Barrel, it is a blended whiskey. Because it doesn't say single malt, I assume that there is, malt in here, there's barley, but there could be other grains. I assume there's other grains in here that they would have gone through distilled and aging. It's also no age statement, so I have no idea really the age or even what's in here. But Whisky Advocate is certainly a magazine that I respect, and for them to call this out as their best whiskey last year, I must admit I have been waiting to try this for some time. So let's see what it gives on the nose. Great nose. So when I'm saying great, odd for a Japanese, but I'm getting like a butterscotch or a toffee. Really up first, something that invites me in. A little bit of spice, but a smoothness to the nose. There's alcohol present, as I said, 51.4. It's not a light nose, but it's one of those richer, stronger noses. As I said, 100th episode. I'm not counting perfectly well. There's a couple of episodes I think I didn't put a number on, and a couple of things. So, but I was looking at the count, and I know that the one that I posted before this, I posted as episode 99. So, thought I better do 100. Thanks to the community. It's really been a lot of fun. A year and a half, posting some thoughts about whiskey and just kind of going through it and hearing the comments, and being corrected when I'm wrong, as I often am. It's been good. I really need to give this some more time to open up. The spices for me are clove cinnamony. fruits are darker. Maybe a blackberry or a deep cherry. They're not crisp and young or green. They're not really orchardy for me right now. They're more cooked, more red. Coming into the 100th episode, I really was trying to see, what do I have on the shelves that I haven't opened, that I haven't talked through. I'm also making a considerable effort to reduce my the whiskey on the shelves, to be honest. I think there are great collectors out there that can have walls and walls of whiskey, but I did a calculation on it a while ago, based on what I actually drink and how many times I actually have neighbors or friends over. And I think if I want to buy just a bottle a month, it seems reasonable, I should only have open about 4 bottles or something like that. I think I tried to do the math. I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. But if I can get it down to somewhere around a dozen, I think that'll offer enough choice for myself or for anyone who's coming over. And then it's fun. If you go through bottles, I think, and then the next time someone comes over, it's like, oh, well, what do you got now? It's not, always going back to that wall of impressive whiskey. But I love going to people who have walls of impressive whiskey. Maybe a bit of orange now. I don't know if coriander is quite the word, but orange. Maybe a little more nutmeg in the spice. That's funny. It's almost burning my nose a little bit more now, which you'd expect less, right? When you give it more time, some of that higher, that extra alcohol kind of goes off pretty quick. Yeah, but definitely now I can't even get past a little bit of orange peel. Still in that cooked sugar. Well, I think I better taste it. Sláinte. I actually meant to keep that in the mouth a little longer. It surprised me. This is rich but strong, and I was not getting wood on the nose, but actually in the palate, quite a bit of wood, or that spice. As I said, there's some cinnamon in there, but now it's almost like cinnamon stick. There's a bit of bark, as it moves into some wood. Really, almost overwhelmed my palate is how I would say. It came alive very quickly. I need to give it a little more time. This is delicious. Here now, like malty, malt sugars, grains, still oaky or woody, still not peppery in the mouth, but spicy in the mouth. It picks up. That tongue's alive. Finish is a little higher in the palate or in the mouth than I was expecting. I thought it would be really huggy, deep, kind of chesty, but it's not. No, it's tasty. It's back into that butter and sugar. I should try. So lots of flavor there. Just I can see why many people might rate it fairly highly. I'm going to give it a couple of shots of water here to see how it might open up a little bit more. And this is a tasting. I imagine certainly with this volume of flavors that this Nikka from the Barrel, I think with time, both in terms of coming back to it a few times or even taking much longer in an evening, would yield a richer or a greater depth of flavor than I'm able to talk to you about. But And you know, for such a high quality whiskey, in Canada, it's reasonably affordable. I can't say it's cheap, that's for sure. It sits on the shelf at about $65, but I know it's been in Liquor Depot here in Edmonton and Calgary, and they've had 25% off sales almost like every month. And I did get this on a 25% off sale, so certainly paid less for that. The finish now, it's quite a while, but I'm left with, again, a little bit of that barky wood, a little bit of that barky cinnamon seems to be hanging around the palate more than fruits. And so even the sweetness that I'm left with, still in toffee, but almost more to cereal sweetness and grainy sweetness. Nothing really new on the nose. I thought water might open it up, might get me a little floral or some fruits. Sometimes, you know, a little water will, you know, it'll bring down that alcohol. If anything, it's come more towards the palate. It's become a little more grain forward. Well, that's softened it out. A little more coating. Not coating, but a little fuller. Although it's almost taken the rich spice and turned into an edge spice, so now I get it right at the tip of my tongue or on the edges of my tongue. And the flavors actually I find less complex. So, you know, everyone has to find where they like their whiskey the best, and watering it can certainly bring out secondary flavors. This, again, is not a long-term tasting, but for me, I'd rather take smaller, tighter sips of the way it came without water than with the addition of water. Yep. Yep, for me, it definitely is better. It is better without water. So, guys, I can't really put a star value on this with no time, but will I say, you know, did I enjoy this? Yeah. Am I so thankful that I could sit down with you guys on the 100th episode and share a special bottle like this? 100%. Yeah, this is a great bottle, and I can certainly recommend it. You know, if I was itching at a star, for me it's somewhere around 4.5. I was really hoping to be a clear 5-star. I mean, Whisky Advocate to say it's the best. It's just the best. I thought for sure 5, and it might be there. And in certainly my first few sips, yeah, 5 stars. But now I'm left with this 4.5, and I shouldn't be rating it, but the water didn't do it any justice. And now I'm really playing in this bark and in this cinnamon stick, and I don't mind those flavors, but I like a little more. I like where I started with the butter and the coating, and I like a little fruit to get in there too, the blackberry, and now it's all a little more coffee and a little bark edge and whatnot. But I need to spend more time with it. Would I buy it again? Well, I mean, it's too soon to tell, but it's a delicious whiskey, and it, you know, 51.4, it lets you choose a little bit of water or decide how you might want to enjoy it. Guys, this was less about the whiskey, although it's how I agree with you guys, and it's far more about thanking you for tuning in, for making this a great journey. You know, we'll keep going for as long as it's a fun conversation. After that, I think I'll have to try to catch you guys on other people's channels or whatnot, because I'm already thinking, you know, how long am I going to run the channel? I started it just as I need to talk to someone or some people about whiskey, and my wife encouraged me to start that, and I sure thank her for that. And you guys have been fantastic, encouraging, interesting, and I love it when you share your experiences. So, you know, if you know more about Nikka, if you know about is it colored, is it not, if you know exactly what kind of grains or blends or whatever, I really like that part of this conversation, the insight into the bottles that we're having. You know, because it's fun story to share. No, it doesn't tell. I thought, oh, does it say something on the bottom? No, just that it's from Japan. Thanks again, guys. Happy 100th episode together. And we'll get back into a couple of just regular, pretty low-flying reviews in a bit. Thanks for joining me. Oh, if you are seeing it, I'm hoping to post this up on Easter weekend. So I hope you and your family have a blessed Easter.